Okay, this BT's Real World of Martial Arts. Real people, real martial arts. I got my man Sifu Rudy. We're going to discuss something about the art of BaGuaZhang. I got one question for you. You know, a lot of people laugh at BaGuaZhang today. You know, they feel that a lot of the practitioners don't enter MMA events, so that means that the art is useless, as all Chinese arts that a lot of these guys feel is useless. What is your perspective about that?
Well, most people ain't trying to get in there in the first place, so that's a moot issue. And then a lot of people running their mouth aren't actually involved. See, like a lot of times people get upset when you talk about the mixed martial art guys. A lot of the guys that claim to be mixed martial arts aren't really the fighters. I know some of those guys personally, so their words don't mean nothing. But as far as BaGuaZhang goes, BaGuaZhang is a very effective counter-grappling art, and it's very useful in all types of situations. But the problem is a lot of people just aren't being taught correctly, and that's why a lot of people can't use their stuff. But then sometimes they are being taught correctly, but they don't fight enough, or they don't do enough sensitivity training or the right type of drills, and their art ends up becoming a dance, because BaGuaZhang is very flowing. And it can easily become a dance if you don't keep your mind focused on what you're supposed to be doing, and develop that footwork the way it's supposed to be used, and develop the right type of body power, because that's a strength art. BaGuaZhang is not really soft like the Tai Chi, you know, when you're walking with that waist twist and holding that builds up abdominal strength, you're twisting your arm, it builds up a lot of power. So if you don't build up the proper structure in your stance, and then you want to go dancing through your forms too soon, and you haven't done any stance training, it might not work too well for you. Because like I said, nowadays a lot of people, it's almost like getting back like the old days again. People are starting to fight now, and getting a little bit of treachery and heart. Because like I said, even though everybody say, oh, somebody just shoots you, nah, that's a stereotype. Not everybody out there has a fucking gun. And some who do ain't got the heart to use it anyway. So, like I used to say, karate and kung fu, I can nigga too. But you gotta learn properly.
Walk that way, Wood.
And you gotta find the right people to study with. Okay.
So what do you feel that is not learning properly, or method properly in BaGuaZhang? What do you mean when you say they're not learning correctly? What do you mean by that?
Their alignment. Most people, they're standing straight. They look like they're standing straight, but their internal alignment is off.
Okay.
I see people's knees wobbling all over the place, side to side, over the arch of the foot. They're not centered on their legs. So they're spinning, but their centers like this. They're not spinning like this.
Okay.
When they don't shift right, it's like any other type of kung fu, that goes for all styles. If you don't have no stance and no balance, you get your ass kicked. That's all it is doing. That's what I've always said, and I still say it today. Don't give a shit what you know. If you don't have no balance and leg power and coordination, the correct coordination, you will get beat up. You're just not going to be able to use your stuff.
So that's why you feel a lot of kung fu people, they can't use the art because their structure is not developed properly?
Yeah, they're developing a little bit of wind and stamina, but no power. Because they're like a saying in the Tai Chi Classic, the slightest divergence from the true way will lead you miles off course when you're aiming for the target, because it's a distant target. You're trying to get skill and mastery. A lot of people just want to fight, but they're not aiming for skill and mastery. Kung Fu is a skill art. You're supposed to develop technique. You can brawl sometime if you like to, but you should be able to stop that brawling and use some of the techniques for when you really need to hurt somebody.
So what you feel separates Kung Fu from MAA?
Oh, not really much. It's just that the MAA guys are getting in there, mixing it up like they're supposed to, and they're really learning more about their bodies by dealing with high-pressure situations. And they're, like I said, most of the MAA guys are just studying a little bit of basic stuff from here and there, and just getting in there fighting. But, I mean, like I say, we're all MAAs, if you want to take it like that. I study karate, kung fu, Wing Chun, toilet foot, hung guard, tai chi, shingi, BaGuaZhang. I used to box, I used to wrestle. So it's, you know, the point is mute. It's just a matter of how often do you mix it up. I mean, not everybody's going to have a real fight in life. Hopefully, most people are blessed not to. I'm not one of them. So I have a lot of experience in the street, and I train a lot of people who fight in the ring and in the street, and that's the way it's at. But you got to be realistic. I always say one thing: you keep in factor when you're training is the kill factor. Remember, one day you might be out there, God forbid, and you might have to cripple, maim, or kill the person in front of you. If you're good, you might develop enough control to discourage them from attacking you. But if you don't aim for that type of skill, you never get it. But here's the trick with Kung Fu. If you develop that type of control, fucking somebody up, it gets easier.
Okay, well, there you got it. Can't get no better than that. This is BT's Real World Martial Arts. That's the 411 on BaGuaZhang today.
Yep.
Hey.